Welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour. Of course, the number one crypto show on Rumble, powered by our friends over at Solum Global, with your hosts, George Ballantine and myself, Lance Miliaccio, the Crypto Bros. It's your ultimate deep dive into everything crypto, blockchain, and decentralized finance. I don't care whether you're a seasoned investor or a newbie just stepping into the world of digital assets for the very first time. We're going to bring you expert insights, top interviews, exciting new projects, breaking news, and game-changing innovations shaping the future of digital assets. Because on this show, in crypto, we trust George B. What's up, bro? It's 7 a.m. It's Friday morning. Rise and grind. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm fully awake yet. I had a long
day. You seem a little tired this morning.
Not tired. Not tired.
Did you fuel up?
I had a long day yesterday.
Did you fuel up? Did you fill up coffee? No coffee yet? What's up?
First, I had a coffee. First thing when I get up in the morning, first thing I do, go to the kitchen, put the hot coffee pot on, go to the bathroom, wash up, brush up.
Now, do you have the old school Mr. Coffee? I use Keurig's because I like to have a fresh cup each time. I don't like to let it sit out. So do you use a Mr. Coffee or are you using something else? French press, maybe? What do you do, George? What's your coffee plan?
What my plan is and what we use is two different things. Let me just say that.
What do you like Keurig's? Do you ever use Keurig's at other people's houses?
No, I've used Keurig's when I always had my own places. I had a Keurig machine, and when you're one person, Keurig machine is good because I'm not sitting there trying to weigh out the coffee and make I like grinds. Let me just get this straight. It tastes better, but I've been using instant coffee. I don't know for a few years.
Yeah, I mean I've used a lot of instant in my lifetime, more in protein shakes than I do to drink it, but. There was a time period not too long ago for a number of reasons that I was drinking instant coffee. You know how that goes, of course. All right. Well, listen, let's kick it off. You know what this show is all about. If you like it, take the live link. Help us grow the show. Share it far and wide. First of all, thank you for all the followers the last 2 weeks. Getting a tremendous amount of followers. We're told this is the best crypto show on Rumble. And the way you guys are thanking us is by following us. Take the short form content, take the long form, grow your own social media. Hit that follow button now and also comment, share, get in the chat, join the chat. Let us know what you like. And if you'd like to sponsor the show, we're always looking for interested sponsors. Of course, Rumble Wallet, you'd be a great sponsor for the show. It makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, if you'd like to sponsor the show, hit us up at info@thebigmig.com. We're looking for a few sponsors. We can do live reads. We also have other opportunities on our nationally syndicated radio show with millions of listeners. And of course, we've got our regular show on Rumble, The Big Mig Show, 11 a.m. Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard. Listen, the show's about crypto, but one of our sponsors does crypto and they do gold and silver. So, George and I are gold and silver bugs. I'm happy, extremely happy about silver. You can obviously tell why I'm extremely happy about gold. Great opportunity, crushing the S&P 500 and many other assets. This is the Prepper Bar, a perfect solution for all you people out there like to stack. Maybe instead of just 1 ounce coins, here's an option to be able to make payments. This is the 62.2 gram Prepper Bar, perforated, easily broken down into your choice of 3 different denominations. You can see it when I tilt it. You can see the denominations. They're perforated. So this one's in a plastic case. It can fit in your wallet. It can fit in your glove box. Of course, you can store it in your safety deposit box, in your sock drawer, your underwear drawer. I don't care what. It's a great way to have an asset that you can hold. Government can't seize it while you're obviously in possession of it. Now, the great news about this is they're mined and minted in the great US of A. They come with an assay report. And as you've seen from the reports today, counterfeit gold and silver is on fire. Be careful out there. Be careful where you're buying your bullion. That's why we go to the guys over at Genesis Gold Group. Head over to thebigmigbar.com. That's right, thebigmigbar.com. Use all caps Prepper, PRE, PPR. That'll get you 10% off on the silver, 5% off on the gold. Hell of a discount. Have a solution. Have a backup plan. Thebigmigbar.com.
Break me off a piece of that Prepper Bar. You know, Lance?
Yes, sir.
Gold is at 49.60 or 80. It's going to hit 5,000. Silver is like $3 away from hitting a milestone of $100. What? I wish my XRP would go up like that. Jeez.
Yeah, no kidding. $100 XRP
man.
Make a lot of people.
Really?
I still feel like there's false suppression because everything that XRP and Ripple have going on, unbelievable. Now, remember, nothing on this show is financial advice. It's educational advice. Talk to your own financial advisors. You don't listen to George and Lance. We're not professionals.
Whoa.
Although if you had listened to us on Gold and Silver, you'd be thanking George and Lance now. Okay, I'll talk about myself in the third person, the George or the Lance. And the point is, same thing with crypto. We're going to talk about projects that George and I actually own a lot of tokens. You have to be aware of that. I don't want you to think we're pumping and dumping, because we're not. We don't do that. We just talk about projects we believe in. And of course, we buy those projects. So that's part of it. All right. Buying cryptocurrencies. We've had a lot of people, and sometimes you might think some of this is remedial, but it's always great as a refresher course for beginners, of course, and even advanced people. You always learn something during our education piece. George does an amazing job creating these for everybody. Buying cryptocurrencies, what you need to know. We get a lot of questions like that. What are the issues? What do you need to know before you're going to buy your first crypto? And I think it's important. You always want to think carefully about what you want to invest, and consider, why you want to invest, how much you want to invest, and how much risk you can really handle. We're in the early stages of cryptocurrency. As you guys know, of course, Bitcoin started in 2009, so it doesn't seem that early, but it is. A lot of these projects are only a couple of years old. A lot of volatility. You got to be aware of that. And you got to think about only risking what you can lose. And of course, crypto prices can change a lot in a very short time period. You guys have seen it. Many of these assets don't have the same safeguards as regular investments. There's still a lot of issues with wallets. There's still a lot of issues with scammers and pig butchering and scum bags out there that are doing the wrong things, and they're screwing up the crypto market because they're looking to victimize people. So keeping your crypto safe is maybe one of the most important things you need to learn. How to store your funds, how to protect your private keys, because God forbid you lose those seed phrases. There's a lot of people that lost their Bitcoin wallets and their seed phrases early on, and now they are shit out of luck. They're watching Bitcoin go to the roof. They'd be multi-millionaires, in some cases, hundreds of millions, like the guy that threw the Bitcoin hard drive into the landfill, still trying to make a deal. But of course, you got to think about that. You also got to think about preventing losses. You got to be careful about scams and scammers, which you can go learn those from this show. We've covered a lot of the scams out there. We're working on a big project that we may be talking about you soon, which might take you through companies that might be able to help you recover assets. You want to use small test transactions before moving bigger amounts. If you're transferring assets in between people or whatever, you want to be careful, because if you put that wallet address in incorrectly, guess what? FUBAR, baby. No return. It's over with. You should have a clear plan, of course, before you start, like any other investment strategy, and that taxes apply to crypto trades. Now, Donald Trump is talking about having some exceptions in Bitcoin and other cryptos. I don't know exactly where that's going to sit. We've heard about the strategic reserve. We heard about maybe the assets in the strategic reserve, maybe the ones that can grow tax-free. But the rules can change on where you live. Access to wallets can change. There's still some places you can't access here in the United States. It's interesting, but it's still true. So I think it's important. So when you think about this, the amount of attention cryptocurrency is getting and the amount of infrastructure that's being put in place, you do not want to get left on the sidelines. So you don't want to sit around like a moron, not know anything. And honestly, I was that guy a couple of years ago. I didn't know very much. And I'm not saying I know a lot now. Every single week, George and I laugh that we learn more. So a lot of people find the idea exciting. And of course, the chance to earn these crazy returns you've heard about, of course, it's very tempting. But they come with a lot of challenges, the cryptocurrencies. You don't want to get with traditional, and you won't get it with traditional investments. So the fact that these prices are moving, the fact that you're trading 24/7, 365, we've talked about a product like Block Trust IRA. That product is a great product to look at, because they can manage your crypto 24/7, 365. A lot of these young people, they stay online for hours. And that's why I always say, don't get out there into the meme coin world. I don't believe in the meme coin world. I think it's unrealistic money. Sure, people have made money in it. I haven't. George and I messed around with some of them, not to really find out how to make money, but we wanted to see strategically what was going on in the meme coin world, kind of learn about it. And you have, $25, $50, no real money. But if you're new to this space, you want to consider buying your first crypto. I think it's a good idea to understand what you're getting into first. So the guide we're going to walk you through right now is the key things you need to know so you can feel more confident there isn't a question of what's going to happen with your money and how you're going to start. So I think the first most important question you have to ask yourself, George, is why do you want to buy cryptocurrency, baby?
Well, I mean, I want to buy it because I want to make some money. And it's, you know what? It's not government controlled. It's away from the old SWIFT system. Because listen, out with the old and with the new. I mean, there's a lot of things why we want to buy crypto. But why do you want to buy crypto? I mean,
well, of course.
Hold on. I'm not asking you.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I'm asking the audience, bro.
All right. You threw me up. I thought, okay, well, I'll tell you why, George.
No, I'll tell you
my reasons.
So before you spend any money on any crypto, why? Are you interested in, you heard good things about crypto? We talk about good things, but we also talk about some of the bad things. And look, technology with crypto is new. It's advancing, and it's just going to be, the more as time goes on, the more advanced it's going to get, especially with quantum computing. I mean, some people get into it because they're hoping for that quick fix and big profits right away. Where you've seen some with meme coins, you're not going to see that too much anymore. So you need to know why you want to, why you want to get into crypto. It's going to help you make better decisions and avoid rushing into something risky. Because crypto can be very volatile. We've seen that happen. So you don't want to put all your money in one basket. You only want to do what you can afford. You don't want to lose. You don't go to be like Vegas. I don't want you to lose. So we're going to go with the basics right now. We're going to tell you about crypto and blockchain. The blockchain space is diverse, baby. It's a lot of different things. It's got thousands of networks and crypto projects. It's got Bitcoin. It's got Ethereum, which are pretty much the two popular ones. They're most famous, but there are a lot of others out there. Lots of different ones. And each has different risks and benefits. So knowing these basics of how these cryptocurrencies and blockchains work can be handy for you. It's going to help you when deciding on what project you want to get involved with, what you don't want to get involved with, what maybe you want to look further into. Listen, that's it. But look, blockchain, it's 100% secure. You're going to see it. Anything on the blockchain, anybody can see. It's a shared digital record that's kept on so many computers around the world. And the best part, I love this. I know Lance loves this. It's decentralization. No government control or involvement in that sense. Decentralized. We say short for DeFi. All right. I mean, look. How do you have to ask this question? I want you to think now. Ask. Take your time. Don't want to go to the banks. What have the banks been doing for the last, it's going to go 100 years? They've been getting richer off us while we've been sitting there trying to get minuscule interest rates. Look at the interest rates on credit cards where they're banging us, even through the banks and stuff. It's crazy. But you can do peer-to-peer. There's so much different opportunities with crypto, but you got to start with the basics. Now, Lance, proof of work. And I'm going to give you the acronyms too. Proof of work, POW, not prisoners of war. It's proof of work.
Exactly.
And you got
confused. We're not talking about Vietnam. You don't want to make a bunch of people start twitching. Vietnam, 10 clicks.
And then you got proof of stake, which is the acronym is POS. Those are the two most common mechanisms used by blockchains to help achieve a consensus and keep the network safe. Now, proof of work is going to use a computer power to solve puzzles. And they're going to which will help confirm the transactions. Now, one example may be Bitcoin mining. Not only Bitcoin mining, other mining, but that's one example. Now you have proof of stake. What does that do? That chooses who confirms transactions based on how many coins they look up. Right? POS is used by Ethereum and many other altcoins.
And it's not piece of shit. Okay, it's proof of stake. Don't get those confused. Somebody says, "How about POS?" and you're like, "Why'd you say that to me?"
It's not prisoners of war and piece of shit. No, it's proof of work and proof of stake.
That might help you remember, though.
Yeah, it might, you know what? That's good. It might help me remember too. Sometimes I forget things.
Now, let me do this, George, because I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball here.
Uh-oh.
I think
we want to keep it simple, Lance. I'm just telling you, this is a very beginner right here. This one.
No. I get it. But we're going to talk about white papers. And there was big news today.
Well, wait. That sounds kind of racist. Why can't it be a black paper? I'm just saying.
I don't know. They're called
Is
white
there any
papers.
particular name why they call it white paper?
Maybe because they're done on white paper, because most paper that comes out of a printer is white.
Good. I was going to say that in case you didn't know that, but that's why. Okay, go ahead.
So white papers and roadmaps are what you want to look at. So before you invest in a new project, crypto project, you should look for its white paper. Now, there was big news today. This tells you the change, right? The winds of change. New York Stock Exchange.
Isn't that a song?
New York Stock Exchange put the Bitcoin white paper. George, let's throw up the image to show them.
What image?
There's an image down in the
I didn't get it yet.
Ocean. Yeah. So there's an image, and this is the actual Bitcoin they say was done by Satoshi Nakamoto and others. That white paper was in the New York Stock Exchange on display today. Now, I'm not saying it's the original one that was first done by Satoshi.
No, I doubt it.
I'm saying that it's a copy of it. And what I'm saying is, think about what that means. That the New York Stock Exchange, one of the longest financial institutions in the world, right, is displaying the Bitcoin white paper. Now, if that doesn't mean a lot as far as the cryptocurrency and the blockchain is concerned, and there's the image, they framed it and they put it inside of the New York Stock Exchange. That tells you a lot about what's going on and how even the stock exchange and the people behind it, the financial institutions, that recognize the importance of what's happening with our financial systems.
Try to blow it up so people could see it.
Yeah. So, and it's that's actually really good.
Nice.
But you look, so this white paper, this is the document this is for Bitcoin, this one, and explains what the project was all about, how it works, what it's going to hope to achieve. And a good white paper is going to be very clear, like this one. It's going to be detailed, and it's going to be upfront about any challenges it has. It's going to tell you, well, here's where we think the issues could be. So you're going to want to know that, the white paper and the project you're getting involved in. You're also going to want to know, does the project share regular updates? Is it going to keep its promises when it says it's going to do something? If it's going to burn tokens to reduce the supply, does it do it when they say they're going to do it? Do the founders hold on to their tokens, or are they pumping and dumping? Do they come out with news and then dump some more tokens, and come out with some news and dump some more tokens? You have to really pay attention to that kind of stuff. And that's why sometimes maybe a group like BlockTrustIRA.com, maybe they would be somebody you would talk to, because maybe you don't have the aptitude for this. But for people that have been dealing with stocks for a long time, this is really easy. You're just looking at a different asset class, and you've got to learn the guardrails for that asset class. So let me say this, if a project, if anything in the description or how they're handling things seems really vague or maybe very unclear, if the team seems to be not at the front of the project, if they kind of seem to disappear, well, of course, that's a warning sign to be extra careful and maybe avoid investing. And you see those kind of things happen a lot with meme coins, right? You see all the hype, you see all the advertising. That, the meme coin's coming out, we're going to do it. And then the meme coin comes out and you see the candlestick. Oh my God, it's going to go crazy. And then it tanks because the original devs, the developers, and the people that, back the project all start dumping their tokens. It's kind of like the New York City subway token. That one that they had the subway logo, the New York City thing that Mayor Adams did. You saw it. You went up to 600 million at a point, and then some of the insiders started dumping some tokens, and people got jacked.
All right.
So
you're going a little off topic. So I just want to show something on this paper. So I cropped it out and made it bigger so you could see this. Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Peer-to-peer is me to Lance, me to any listener out there. No banks, no feds. Just me and you, baby.
Yeah.
That's insane in itself.
It's pretty cool having it. We should get a copy of one of that Bitcoin white paper, frame it, and put it in the West Palm Beach crypto studio.
Yeah, right.
It'd be cool to hang that up in there. All right, so cryptocurrency prices, you want to look for volatility, right? They move quickly and by large amounts. Bitcoin's price has risen dramatically in some years and fallen just as sharply in others. You've seen a sell-off right now. We even heard that maybe BlackRock was selling. I don't know if it's true. Some people were posting that, saying that BlackRock's wallets were liquidating. I don't have any idea if that's a real consequence or not. But that's kind of change can be stressful, right? So it's important for you to plan ahead. So tips to manage the ups and downs, George. I think these are important, and I kind of outlined these because I wanted people to really be aware. Because of course, the emotional stress. If you invest money that you can't afford to lose, it can damn near kill you.
Talking about keeping your crypto safe, huh? Is that what we're saying?
Well, I'm here right here on the tips to manage the ups and downs. So decide in advance when to buy and sell.
All right. You want me to? All right, I got it. So I'm going to give you a tip. And I'm not going to tell you don't eat yellow snow. It's not those kind of tips. We're having a little fun today.
It's a good tip, though.
It's Friday. But like Lance was just saying, you're going to decide in advance when to buy and sell instead of just reacting to market moves. Don't ever react to just market moves. Know what you're doing. Look, research. Use tools like stop loss orders. This will actually help you automatically sell if the price drops to a certain point. And only invest what you're comfortable risking. Okay? Like you're going to go to a casino, know how much you can afford if you're going to lose, and don't go over that. Like if you go with 1,000 cash, this is it. This is my limit. If I lose it, I'm done. You're not going to hit your credit cards, go to the ATMs. No.
Kind of like Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. All right, go ahead.
I like this song. Spread your investments across different coins rather than putting all your money in one place. Me and Lance do that. We got to spread around and good stuff though. No meme coins. So don't rush to buy. We
focus a lot on altcoins, just so the audience knows. George and I believe in altcoins.
You said at the beginning we don't really mess with meme coins. You said why? We smart. Don't rush to buy in a market frenzy. Sometimes patience pays off. Patience is a virtue. Be patient.
Yeah, the FOMO can kick in, George. The fear of missing out.
Yep. So if you're thinking about investing in brand new coins, be even more cautious because they usually carry higher risks. You know, Lance, since you brought up Bitcoin, I just want to let people know. Some people don't notice that are coming into crypto. You see, let's say Bitcoin price is $90,000, right? You don't need $90,000. You can buy $1 worth of Bitcoin or $5, $10. Yeah. It's not like a stock where a stock of like whatever, it's $350 stock. You need $350. No, not with crypto. They should start.
And Bitcoin's broken up into Satoshis, they call it. They're sats. Well, those are the micro.
That's only Bitcoin, but not the other ones ain't.
No.
Ethereum's not. So that's why I didn't want to confuse them and say, but.
Gotcha.
Might be people like, what? Satoshis? What the fuck what's Lance? What?
It's a portion of a Bitcoin.
You got to tell them now because you said it.
Well, it is. It's a portion of a Bitcoin. So you can buy in sats, they call it. We always joke around and say, hey, if you want to tip us in, of course, the Rumble wallet, you can tip us crypto in the Rumble wallet, or you can tip us on the bigmig.com in crypto. And we always say, well, send us a few sats. Of course, that's a very small amount, but if you want to sell us a full Bitcoin, hey, I was going
to say, Lance, just you know what? Fuck the sats. Go for it. Send us a Bitcoin, man.
Yeah, that's right. We'll put it to good use. I promise. Promoting the show and truth, justice, and the American way across all of our shows.
They're gonna look at both of us. They must have not slept good. They're a little delirious today.
Yeah, we might be a little delirious. Who knows? We did a lot of shows this week. A lot of great interviews too over on the regular show. All right. So go ahead, George. I didn't mean to step on you.
No. Keep your crypto safe. This is one thing we always talk about on the show, and the one biggest thing, the risk of losing crypto and making mistakes is you. That's right. You. Once you do a crypto transaction on a blockchain, it can't be undone. It cannot be undone. Lance said earlier, make sure you know the wallet address, confirm it's the right address. So, and that's a great point, Lance. One thing I did, which other people had wallets, we're doing stuff with Solon Global. I would do a test and send $1 over to make sure they got it, received it. Once I got confirmed they received it, then I send the amount that needed to be sent. It's always a good way. I mean, what's $1? You lose $1. Okay. You're not going to cry wolf about it, are you? But you'd cry wolf if you lost 10,000 or 5,000, whatever. So that's a good way to, do it. Now, there's two ways. These are the main ways of storing your crypto. One is called hot wallets. These are constantly connected to the internet. They're like a mobile app, wallets, or exchange accounts. Well, they now, like here, I can pull up my phone and pick out my wallet, right? That's convenient, right? It's easy to use. Those are hot wallets, but they're a little less secure. Now, you can keep a little bit, maybe $500,000, a couple thousand, whatever, on your wallet on your phone. But if you got big money, you don't want to leave it there. If you're like just sitting there holding like your big RXRP, you don't want it there. You want it in a cold wallet. Why? because these wallets are offline. They're offline. And even to do one better, and we always say this, get a Faraday bag. Put it in a Faraday bag. Nothing can connect to it. Nobody can even try to connect to it. But these wallets, the cold wallets, are a hardware device or paper wallets. They're safer than anything they're safer from online threats, but it's less convenient. But it's safe. So you have to weigh your options. Do I want safer or do I want convenience? I'm going for safe. I'm not going to be lazy. That's just me. And I know Lance is the same way. Lance lost my crypto because he wanted to be lazy. I'm telling you, it's not going to be pretty. And it wouldn't be pretty for me either if I did the same.
I want to say this, when it comes to those keys and things like that, you just have to be really redundant, because you might have one piece of paper stored somewhere. You might have it written down or whatever you think is secure.
But it's not even paper, Lance. You can have a hardware, like it's hardware. It's hardware where your money's on there. It's just not connected to the internet.
Yeah. You have to treat it like it's a big, depending on how much money you have in there, especially. So think about it as if it's a big gold bar. Would you misplace that gold bar? No, you probably wouldn't.
Would you misplace it in a garbage can where it ends up in a landfill?
Whoa. That's
how much Bitcoin that guy lose?
700. I don't know what the value is now because Bitcoin's come down. So I think it's $700 or $800 million he lost. How about the guy that paid for 2 pizzas? He didn't lose it, but he spent money on pizzas.
Yeah, but that was back then. It was like nobody knew, nobody knew nothing about it.
Don't tell me he doesn't cringe about that.
Probably does.
Look,
if you have any doubt about hot or cold wallets, look at many investors are going to they'll use both. I was just telling you that we use both. You just, it's up to you how much you want to keep in there and how much you're willing, in case something happens. But you are your biggest security risk. And Lance was talking about before, your private keys. Make sure you keep them safe. Matter of fact, you make sure you keep them in 2 different locations just in case something happens to where you're at. You want to keep them in a burn-proof metal box. God forbid a fire. Because you lose those keys. I think you have 10 tries, Lance? Once 10 tries, that's it. It's gone forever. So, and
I got to be honest, it's frightening.
Just listen, the private keys are a pain in the ass. Usually they're like 12, I think 14, 16 different words. Yeah. They have to be in certain order. I mean, and if you have different wallets, you're going to have different keys. It's a lot. I have different wallets. It's a pain in the ass, believe me.
No doubt. 100%. So these are big concerns. You got to keep this in mind as you're going through this and think about ways, but just like you would anything else, you're just not going to get, in this particular case, those keys are a problem. So testing, we talked about that. Yep. Know your responsibilities. You really want to think about buying and selling and even using cryptocurrencies. They can have tax consequences. So depending on where you live, you got profits or losses, they might need to be reported to tax authorities. Tax rules related to crypto are still changing, so it's wise to keep records of every single transaction.
No tax on crypto in Puerto Rico, though.
Yeah, good point. Use tax software, or maybe use crypto software for taxes. You can create an AI agent that could do your taxes for you. It's a way to track it. You can upload that information and kind of have a running tabulation that you could update.
Can I
talk with tax professionals? Yeah.
I know Trump, because I'm accused. I know he said there's not going to be no tax on crypto. Whether that went into effect or not, I do not know. I mean, I think that's in limbo, what's happening. So, because some people
he said Bitcoin, and he hasn't said all crypto. And he's talked about U.S. cryptocurrencies. Yeah. U.S. cryptocurrencies. So I don't know how that's going to affect any companies, because, of course, a lot of companies didn't want to form their company here in the beginning because of Gary Gensler, because of the weasel.
Well, but there really wasn't any regulation or any structure. Look, they can't even get
to one. Went offshore because of the SEC here. They were afraid of the SEC, and I don't blame them.
You mean getting put on a bracelet and on house arrest and not even convicted yet? Oh, like that?
And them stealing billions of dollars of your Bitcoin? You mean like Joe B. Weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Joe B. Weeks, in case anybody in the administration is watching the show. Maybe go watch our Joe B. Weeks interview. For anybody that didn't see that, it was last week. A great interview, great guy. He and I have been in constant communication since. Amazing individual. But man, is the government just hosing this guy. All right. So buying cryptocurrency. It's a pretty simple process, but I think it's important to follow some key steps. Of course, you want to avoid problems. So maybe take them down, George. You got to take them step by step. You've done a lot of this. You've even done more than I have because you've executed a lot of the purchases.
Yeah. So it can be difficult for some, but it's really a simple process. Some exchanges are a little more in depth than others. Some are easier, but you gotta, like Lance was saying, you gotta follow these steps. So you want to look for a reliable cryptocurrency exchange or platform, whatever you want to call it. Binance's a good one. Kraken is another. Coinbase is good. There's a bunch of them. We did episodes on the top exchanges of, like, some are good for security, some are better for convenience. So you're going to have to make that decision what you want. I'm always going for security. That's just me. So always check. Now you're going to have to make an account. You're going to have to create an account. You're going to have to verify your account. You have to provide some identification. You're going to have to either connect your bank account. I think you connect PayPal too. And sometimes when you send money from your bank account to your crypto wallet, even though you've done it a bunch of times, they might put a hold on it. Like, you could use it to buy something, but you can't transfer or do nothing. It'll sit there, and it could be 3 days. I've had it where it's been like 20 days a few times. It was driving me nuts. Some exchanges do that, some don't. It's like a security thing. And you think, like, wait a minute. I've been doing business with you guys for how long now? I'm the same person, same account, nothing's changed, but they still do it. Hey, some don't, though. What are you going to do? So, open your account. You can place an order once your funds are there or available, buy or want. And Lance has always said this. And he always goes, buy something for $5, $20, and learn how to operate it. Don't just go try to buy a lot. Make little purchases. Take it easy. Learn the basics of it.
A lot of retailers, I noticed a news story today earlier that a lot of retailers are turning to crypto payments because they're tired of paying credit card transaction fees. So it's interesting that they would prefer to take crypto and deal with it however, and I think it's an interesting model that people are sick of credit card fees, and I don't blame them.
Since you brought that up, so there's different cryptos and they vary in prices, but then you have your stable coins, which are pretty much pegged always going to be worth $1. They're not going to go down. They're not going to really go up. They're going to be worth $1. And those are great for making purchases and stuff because, you don't have to calculate. You don't have to say, oh, my God, I bought something. I had to use 100 max RP, and all of a sudden you think you might be afraid it's going to go up and you're going to lose that kind of money. So you can use stable coins to buy that. It's a great way. It's secure, it's safe. I like them. I mean, I don't know, Lance. Me personally, if I'm buying stuff, I'm not using my Bitcoin to buy something. I'm keeping my Bitcoin. Are you kidding me? I won't even use my XRP. We're holders. Holders means holding.
Hands. Diamond hands.
That's just us. Some people might want to do it, but
yeah.
I mean, I can't see anybody. Maybe some people, if they have that much Bitcoin. I don't have that much Bitcoin. So if you want to send some to the Rumble wallet, be my guest. We'll take some.
Yeah, you can tip us in the Rumble wallet. You can also give us a $5 paid subscription. We love that. You can also hit notifications so you know when we're going live. Hit the follow, share, do all of it. Rumble rant tips, always greatly appreciated. Buying cryptocurrency is going to open up a lot of doors and new opportunities. But what you're going to want to hear about is this next part of our show. Lots of top news to cover. XRP is building the rails for trillions with a T. Stay tuned. George Ballantyne, Lance Migliaccio. We'll be back. The Crypto Bros here on the Crypto Power Hour, baby. Stay tuned. Don't make us come and look for you.
Yeah, no.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At cspoa.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.
Welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour. It's powered by Solum Global. Here we host Lance Migliaccio, George Ballantine, Crypto Mafia, Crypto Armies out there in the chat. So if you're out there watching and listening, if you hit the thumbs up button, like button, share, and join the chat, say hello. Appreciate it. And the subscribe button, anything helps, you know that. But Lance and I have the perfect solution for the people that can't watch your crypto 24/7. Nope. That's why we're here to tell you about BlockTrustIRA.com. They're bringing access to cryptocurrency wealth to everyday people. Their exclusive Animus AI trading platform works 24/7, analyzing market data and executing advanced crypto strategies that go far beyond buy and hold. This sophisticated technology, once reserved only for Wall Street insiders, but now it's available to you. No surprise, this system was named #1 crypto technology platform by Bitcoin Magazine out of more than 1,500 global competitors. Look, you could be a teacher, truck driver, small business owner, retiree, watching inflation eat away at your savings. BlockTrust IRA's advanced Animus AI gives everyday Americans the same advantages as a financial elite. And clients are already seeing over 250% on their returns. All with military-grade security and up to $200 million insurance, your wealth is fully protected. So don't wait. Visit BigMigCrypto.com today and see how you can join this financial revolution that's finally giving everyday Americans access to the crypto opportunity of a lifetime. Once again, visit BigMigCrypto.com and you can get up to $2,500 of free crypto. $2,500. I got the QR code. Take a screenshot. It'll take you right there. Please do it after the show. We want you to hear, watch, and learn. All right, big news. You know, a lot of things been happening, a lot of things, big things in Davos this week. From politics, but a lot of financial, who's who in Davos, a lot of money, a lot of power, a lot of wealth there.
A lot of deep staters too.
Well, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse was there too, and he's making some big moves. And he said, this is Davos 2026. He was there, and he said the company has been working with banks worldwide to bridge tokenization and DeFi through the XRP ledger.
Kaboom.
You know how much their tokenized volume grew from 19 trillion to 33 trillion in just 1 year?
That's a huge number when you think about it. And that's like this much of the market that's available. And that's what's incredible when we talk about real world assets. And of course, XRP is only $2.10. You might want to go out and buy some and just maybe stick it in a cold storage while forget you have it for a couple of years. You might be thanking Lance and George. It's not financial advice. We own XRP. It's just advice. You should talk to your own financial advisor. But I'm going to say this, bookmark this, and you might regret it if you don't go talk to your financial advisor about XRP and Ripple.
We have the clip. I want to play it. You don't think we bring the sauce?
I like Brad Garlinghouse.
On that note, there are lots of sound bites there, lots to respond to. You're already seeing the momentum. First up, tokenized assets on Ripple's XRP ledger surged over 2,200% last year. Just weigh in from your perspective.
Well, I think I agree with a lot of what was said here. I do think the first poster child of tokenization was really stable coins. You saw, as Brian observed, massive growth last year. I think, went from, in 2024, $19 trillion of transactions on stable coins last year. In 2025 is $33 trillion. So about 75% growth. I think many in our industry would say that's going to continue. I think to the extent there's space between what Brian was just talking about and how I think about the Bitcoin idea of a Bitcoin standard, I look at that and I think it's much more of the marriage. Sovereignty of fiat currencies, I believe, is for many countries sacrosanct. Ben Bernanke spoke at a Ripple event many years ago, and he made the point that governments will roll tanks into the street before giving up monetary supply, giving up the control of monetary supply, which stuck with me as, yeah, that makes sense. And so at Ripple, we very much focus on building the bridges between traditional finance, as Bill was describing, what we now call TradFi, and decentralized finance. And that has meant working with a lot of the banks around the world to kind of build those bridges.
Go.
Those bridges are the infrastructure that's going to run the global financial system. And we said it many times before, I can't imagine where Ripple would be at if the SEC had never attacked them. And of course, there's still a lot of what I would consider unease because the regulatory environment is still kind of like this, right? Nobody really knows for sure. So I think we're still seeing false limited pricing on XRP. I feel like it's being held back for a number of reasons. I'm not sure what all of it is, but I can tell you that the deals they've got on the table, as you know, during the lawsuit, there were 3,300 contracts that were never divulged. They still haven't really been discussed. Now, here's Brad Garlinghouse tell you they've been working with banks all over the globe to go ahead and, get this tokenized volume all on the ledger. And of course, XRP is one of the few ready to handle it. I think Ethereum also fits a role. I think that XRP solves the problem that Bitcoin has. So I see these coins when I look at XRP, Solana, Ethereum, and of course, Bitcoin, and also the ISO 20022 tokens. So that is where we put our money, George and I, in the altcoins. That's what I would recommend you do. Let's talk about White House crypto czar, David Sachs. I'm not always a fan. Let me say this. I don't like when he had, Bill Gates and Zuckerberg sitting next to Donald Trump at the White House. I think that was a very bad look. But of course, he says once market structure legislation passes, these banks will get fully into crypto, merging it into one digital assets industry. They'll be deep in the stablecoin business to offer you yields and stay competitive. And that's true. They don't really want it right now because, of course, the interest rates they're offering you for your savings are garbage. And when you start staking stablecoins, I staked a bunch of our stuff. George didn't even know about it, but I staked it so we would get staking returns. I'm sure he would have said yes anyway. But it's paying us a return that goes into our account. We get a little bit every month. So the point is the staking returns exceed anything you could make. And that's what their big concern is that all the assets will be moved out of banks into the cryptocurrency market because of the amount of money that's being provided. Let's play the clip, George.
He should have said once the right legislation gets passed, because they tried slipping some bad things in there. They got caught up.
Good point.
We'll see.
Very good point, George.
Let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
Sneaky
compromise,
stuff.
everyone leaves a little bit unhappy, right? But I think what's going to happen is that after market structure passes, the banks are going to get fully into the crypto industry. So we're not going to have a separate banking industry and crypto industry. It's going to be one digital assets industry. And I think
will they be regulated
their opinions are going to evolve over time. And I bet you over time, the banks like the idea of paying yield because they're going to be in the stablecoin business.
But will they also be regulated the same way? And I guess that's a big, the banks will say, hey, if they get to do all the same things we do, how come they don't get regulated the same way?
Well, I guess because they're offering slightly different products, right?
Yeah.
So, but everyone offering the same product should be regulated in the same way. And we want to get to that harmonization.
No. Crypto's not the same product as a bank. Don't.
And I don't want the banks to offer the staking and then take a big chunk. It makes me nervous when banks get involved. When I hear banks getting involved, Federal Reserve involved, they haven't treated us very well to this point. They're charging you excessive interest rates on credit cards. They crack you with overdraft fees through the roof. They crack you with all kinds of other banking fees. I know they have to make a profit, but I believe they've mishandled their business because they've been the one-stop shop.
Well,
so I hate to see too much of this.
Speaking of, the banks, even Eric Trump said it, and we're going to go into this right now. He goes, the big banks block after-hour wire transfers to earn interest on billions over weekends. Well, we want to be able to transfer our money on the weekends or whenever we want. That's why we don't need the banks. That's why we want our crypto. And this is what the crypto czar just said, David Sachs. He's talking about it's two different products. See, the banks are just crying wolf. Look, you banks, you've been doing it since inception. And you're only doing for what's the feds and the banks and not really for the people. Well, we got tired of it.
Yeah.
And somebody came up with something. It was called Bitcoin. Now people making other stuff. That's it. Out with the old, in with the new. You don't like it, too bad.
And I like Eric Trump. I trust him. He's outing the banks on the way they've been behaving. He came straight out and said, why can't you send a wire transfer past 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon? Because they want to hold your money and they make money on holding your money. Everything's slower at a bank. It doesn't matter. Western Union, you start using any institution that isn't in the decentralized financial blockchain world, and you see how slow they intentionally process everything. That's because time is money. They hold your capital. They make money on it. They don't give you any of it. And then they charge you an excessive fee to make the transfer. Let's play the clip.
The big banks have been an absolute monopoly over our financial system for years. You and I have joked about it 1,000 times. Why can't you send a wire transfer past 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon? You know why? Because the big banks would love to take hundreds of billions of dollars and have it sit there and clip interest off of it over the course of a long weekend, as opposed to letting you just efficiently move that money using modern day technology, and have it in a separate wallet 2 seconds later. They want to be able to use their money. They want to be able to arbitrage their money. And so, the big banks are doing everything they can to stop some of the crypto legislation for obvious reasons. Why?
Now, Lance, you always see how people, like when we post places, some people say, oh, Bitcoin's not going to last. It's going to go to zero. I'm going to tell you right now, people, Trump family have a Bitcoin mining facility in Texas. There's governments that have Bitcoin reserves. The United States has Bitcoin reserves. There's a lot of Bitcoin stuff. It ain't going away. It's not going to happen. The CIA won't allow it. They need their Bitcoin. Right?
Now, I will say this. You never know what the next project that's a MySpace, and I'm not saying that Bitcoin will go completely away, but I can't tell you, and we would be lying if we tell you that XRP is going to be a huge winner. Because if XRP doubled, well, of course, $100,000 Bitcoin going to 110 isn't the same thing as XRP doubling in price, right? Because XRP is $2.10. If you double, that's 100% return. If you make 10,000 on 100,000, that's a 10% return. I don't know who the winners are going to be, but I think that if you really look at the white papers and you really do the research, the same coins you keep hearing about them, Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, and Ethereum, I don't think any of those are going away. And I think a lot of the ISO 2002 tokens, the XLMs, the XDC, the header hash graph, right, HBAR, I think those tokens that you'll see in that list that are all part of this new SWIFT build out, I think they're not going anyway. Now, that being said, all bets are off. You just never know what's going to happen because today's big winner could be tomorrow's loser. We don't know who that'll be, but I think if you diversify, that will hedge some of the risk. Now, President Trump, He's talking about, ensuring that America remains the crypto capital of the world. To do that, he's going to have to get the regulation under control. He's going to have to control Congress. We have one of the worst, ineffective, shittiest Congresses ever right now. The Democrats continue to try to manipulate the public, with these bills and jamming stuff in there. You just saw it recently. They tried to do it again. He's got to keep an eye on them, and he better rein them in. And to rein them in, I think we have to get the bad apples out of there. To get the bad apples out of there, I think Pam Bondi's going to have to make some arrests. I love his thought process, but let me say this. Dubai and Singapore are not going to take that lying down. Dubai wants to be the capital. Singapore wants to be the capital. Don't underestimate the forces behind that they don't necessarily want the U.S. He's going to have to go into overdrive. And I think one of the ways to do it, I agree with what you said at the early part of the show, George. Tax-free on all crypto for the next 5 years. Tax-free growth.
I mean,
I think if he does that, he can ensure that we are the capital. And I think he's got to get the regulation under control. Get Congress under control, please, DJT. Get them under control. They suck. Let's go. Let's play the clip.
Yeah.
To unleash innovation in savings and financing, I'm also working to ensure America remains the crypto capital of the world. And to that end, last year, I signed the landmark Genius Act into law. Now Congress is working very hard on crypto market structure legislation, Bitcoin, all of them, which I hope to sign very soon, unlocking new pathways for Americans to reach financial freedom.
Lots of big news that came out of Davos. You can't underestimate these statements because, Donald Trump always telegraphs where he's heading. So hopefully we're going to see some good action coming out of Congress. Maybe we'll see some arrests. Maybe we'll get some good people in there. I'd like to see some of the scum drifted out of there, but it is what it is for now. At least Gary Gensler's gone. At least we got rid of that weasel. All right, BitGo. This is trying to tell you what the institutional money is thinking. New York Stock Exchange BitGo stocks edged higher in New York Stock Exchange debut. Investors bet on the plumbing of the crypto world. What is that? That's the infrastructure, right? The foundation, plumbing, electrical foundation. So the crypto custodian priced its initial public offering at $18 per share on Wednesday. It was up about 25% in opening trades. After pricing its IPO at $18, that makes the company's value at around $2 billion at its IPO price. But of course, it's up. And the point is, much of the IPO was bought up. So the stock rose as high as 24.5 per share during the early trading. Of course, these guys, they're well below the recent crypto listings. Of course, Circle was huge when they came out, the stablecoin issuer. But there is an appetite. And hedge funds are buying these companies up because they believe in the infrastructure. They know that what's going on here is obviously is going to appeal to the long-term crypto investors familiar with its service, quality, and investment potential. Of course, institutional investors did jump in. They did buy a lot of the stock. So BitGo, available in blockchain rails, including Ethereum, which right now I think Ethereum's around 3,029 something. Solana around 128 and change. And of course, BNB chain, which is 888.72. I think BNB is up quite a bit. I don't think they were around 500 or 600, so they've jumped quite a bit. But of course, you got to test the inventory. You got to test appetite, the crypto company's appetite with the big institutions. And of course, looks like the appetite is there. So I think we're going to see a lot of public offerings over 26. I think we'll see some big returns. I know Solum Global is talking about a potential offering at some point. I don't know where that's going to go, but we'll let you know as that comes on. Right now, Solum Global is in Davos. Big news. Hopefully he'll bring back some great stories, great information. That's Kirk St. John's. And of course, Sterling, Sterling is over there also. Sebastian couldn't go because he had to stay here to run the operation. So big stuff. If you haven't checked out Solum.global, please go over to their website, give them a check. If you're not following Solum Global, I recommend you do. Big stuff coming out of that company. There's going to be some big offerings, of course, real world assets. They're also tokenizing gold besides everything they're working on in a new product called Arius. So Solum Global on of course, X, Crypto Power Hour. Next, get over there and give us a follow. Join the community over there. We love it. Hit the follow button here. Thumbs up, comment, share, tell your friends and family. Take the short form, take the long form, share it far and wide. If you can throw us a Rumble Rant tip on the way out the door, you want to throw us a Bitcoin or two on the way out the door, you can connect. We're connected to the Ripple wallet. And of course, if you'd like to sponsor the #1 crypto show on Rumble, you know what to do. Hit us up over at info@thebigmig.com. That's thebigmig.com. That's our media company, George and I's media company. So big news, lots of stuff. And don't forget, 11 a.m. we'll be there. The Big Mig Show, Monday through Friday, and we'll be there at 11. So you can roll out of here, watch a few other shows, and then come right over to our show. Lots of great news we'll be covering today and having a little bit of fun also. George, last words, my brother.
See you at 11 a.m. If not, have a blessed weekend. Be prepared for this big storm coming Sunday. Later.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org